All right, people, good night, good night. Let me welcome you to this another episode of the Saudichress show. And I know you are here and ready for the big show. But let us actually get into our anthem before we start. All right.
Saudichress. Saudichress TV are the best TV. Come on. Turn up the vibes. It's Saudichress TV. Home of sports, entertainment, and education. Bringing you the stories, the music, and the energy that move Jamaica. Saudichress. Saudichress TV are the best TV. From the classroom to the stage, Saudichress TV keep you informed, inspired, entertained. All the days with we today reach thousands across the island and beyond. Saudichress TV, real vibes, real people, real connection.
Yes, bring all of the connection, real vibes from the Saudichress TV. Again, people, I must say good night to everyone. We will have a big, bad show tonight. And I say a bad show, not in a very bad way, but one that many of you fans are expecting and looking forward to. And we have our special guest here and ready to go to kickstart what we call the show of the season. Let me welcome the president of ISSA and the principal of a great institution, St. Elizabeth Technical High School, Mr. Keith Wellington. Sir Wellington, good night and welcome again to the Saudichress show.
Thank you very much, Sir Witty. Good night to you and your viewers as well.
I'm telling you, they're looking forward. You know, I was expecting a different color background this evening.
I'm not where that is. You want expected white? A white flag, a Suriname flag.
That's a different color. I never expected a pink. But I'll leave it right there. People in chat, I know I want you welcome again. I know we have some people backstage in the panel. And I just want to say to you how we're gonna run the show tonight, people. As soon as you're ready for your chat and I take you on the order to which you are here, you will not have the whole 10 persons on shot on screen tonight at once, but allow people to join and ask their question or to make their suggestion. All right, so we're gonna do it early. Again, people, this is Mr. Wellington. He's here. You know him by now. He seems like a mainstay on the Saudichress show. I must say, boy, I'm really happy that whenever we call on Mr. Wellington, he's always ready. Very busy man. And so I know we are even close to his bedtime, but he's prepared to give us as much as possible.
And I just came out of Champs meeting, so it's not like I've been idle all day.
Yes, I know. So I can understand. I'm happy that the meeting was short as well, Sir Wellington. So you're able to make it for this time. But, you know, the football season is here, sir. We are coming to the end of the season. And before we get into that, let me just ask you, just to top off the show, you know, and to say it's a good season so far for us. What say you and ISSA as it relates to the schoolboy football season thus far?
Well, I think it's obvious that it has been a challenging last 3.5 months for us. We would have been visited by a young lady who seems to be in Jamaican parlance, a tegereg. She really caused us some anguish. Thankfully, though, we seem to be on the way to recovery in terms of our schools starting to reopen slowly, although I think it's going to be a long way back. We are grateful, though, that we were able to resume our various sporting competitions, specifically for football. We know that the youngsters, the under 14 and the under 16, still haven't got that chance to participate yet. They will start their competitions next month. And from a senior perspective in terms of the football, we are a little bit late, way behind. We have not been able to complete the season yet. And even though we have the finals at the Manning and the Costa Cup this weekend, we will have to go into January because we have to at least play the Oliver Shield, and we are still contemplating what we do with the Champions Cup. So there's a little way still to go, but we are thankful that at least we are giving the youngsters the opportunity to play and to, you know, take their minds off some of the stresses that some of them are facing, especially in Western Jamaica.
You mentioned about the Western Jamaica team. We have seen two teams as withdrawn from, you know, various competition at different stages, especially at this last stage. I am sure, you know, in the past that, well, not just the past, but we all know that when teams withdrew, there are penalties and so on. What happened? I mean, I know the situation, but in this case, just to highlight that everybody can understand, in this case of withdrawal, what's the situation?
Well, I think everybody understands that different schools have different levels of resources, and there are schools also that suffer different levels of damage. And, you know, we are mindful that at the end of the day, there are some things that you have to prioritize. And so in the cases of both schools that did not come to a natural end, or their season did not come to a natural end, we are fully understanding of the circumstances. And I think both principals would have indicated the challenges they were having from early, but they were very supportive of the idea of us having our competitions. They wanted their kids to participate, but also understood that if they couldn't participate, then other students should not be deprived. And so we allowed them to. I want to tell you something. In at least one other competition, there were schools that indicated that they didn't want to participate, and we actually allowed them. They came back to us later to say, listen, we are in the communities, we are seeing the kids, and they are begging us to participate. In one case, we actually started the competition when one of the principals came to us, and we allowed them to come in, although the competition had started. They had missed their initial 2 games. But we understand the value of sports to our students, and it's, as I said, it's not always just about who wins the various competitions. These competitions are meant to help our students develop, and where we see that they can benefit from it, then we try our very best to ensure that they are involved in these competitions.
You know, Melissa has come and gone. Of course, we are still facing the devastation that she has left with us. But I just want to look at it this way or ask you, Sir Wellington. After Melissa or the restart of the competition, the challenges that you have you seen any indiscipline creeping afterwards based on what happened before?
No, I don't think that we saw anything that was not, that we would not have seen prior to Melissa or before. I think there were cases of indiscipline, yes, that we are mindful of and that we don't want to tolerate, but I don't think it would be fair to blame it on Melissa passing through. I think these are things that happen from time to time, things that we don't accept, and actions that we sometimes, well, not sometimes, that we always abhor, and we have had to take actions in the past, and we did so in the cases that occurred after Melissa as well.
Sir Wellington, I said before that you're a mainstay on the Saudichress show, and you understand we always have our panelists, and a number of them, I know you're seeing them backstage. They're just buzzing and willing to go. So I just ask, you know, once they come, and we're gonna have them in their order, because I don't want to steal the show, because they are the one asking for you, I must say.
Yeah.
Not just Saudichress.
Well, they want me to be a panelist as well?
Yes, man. And that's why you are here. So in the order, I'm just gonna allow. I know this one I want to put it. I'm gonna add 2 persons at a time. So I'll just add the first person who was there, Info. I think, well, I don't want to say it, but I'm also gonna add Tom right now. So Info, you were first, and then Tom. I'll just ask you to greet Wellington.
Good.
And you may go.
Good night, Principal Wellington, President. Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
Let me congratulate you and your team for reaching the final just far. But I have a concern. As a football practitioner who watched the game and tried to highlight it and helped to promote the youngsters who played. on school grounds during weekdays when ISSA have competition like the Dakar Cup and the Manning Cup, especially the Dakar Cup.
Mm-hmm. We lost him, right?
I'm not hearing him at all. Info, can you hear us? All right. While Info sort himself out, let me just ask Tom to come in. Tom Stranger.
Good night, Mr. Wellington, you know.
Good night, boss.
Congratulations on reaching the final of the Dakar Cup. I know you have, you play this season in the quarter final.
Yeah.
Yeah, with draw still, but you know, it was the nature of the game.
Yeah.
But I know that he was severely damaged by Hurricane Melissa from the pictures that I saw over the past couple months and stuff like that. But how you get these boys motivated and up and running to compete in this Dakar Cup like they have been?
All right, so I think for us at STETHS, we are, I think, a little bit fortunate in terms of support that we have around our view, not just the football team, but generally speaking, we are a very strong family as a school, and therefore, whatever the situation is, we are always going to be able to find the type of support to make things work. So even you mentioned the fact that we suffered damage, I can tell you that by the government's estimate, our damage is more than $500 million, right? Which is obviously significant. And yet still, we are still in a position where we are not only getting back our students back in school, having our classes, but we are actually taking students from other schools that would have suffered damage, at their schools. So we are a resilient school. We are a resilient set of persons by nature. If you take, when we were doing extremely well in football, one of the things you know about us is that even when you're leading us 2-0 with 90 minutes to go, you have not yet won, because by nature we're going to fight to the very end. So I think that has helped us in terms of our football and our just generally as a school this year. When the hurricane was scheduled to be here, we didn't just send them home. So they were here, and for the most part, the entire squad was here during the hurricane. After the hurricane, some went home and then came right back. Some of them got significant damages at home as well, but they were much more comfortable at home. Malik walk past because he want to walk past. So that's the STETHS number 25.
Yeah. Big up Malik Wellington. Big up.
All right. So I think we have done well because of the support that we have around the team from the community and those who are around. And obviously leadership makes a difference. I don't know whose leadership, but leadership makes a difference.
I know it's your leadership, man. We have a comment on the leadership so far. But one of the next.
Hold on, Info. I soon get you back.
One of the next thing that I wanna ask you about is the fourth official. I know that the referee have their own community and stuff like that, but I think the fourth officials this season they get involved in the game a little bit too much from my understanding. And what type of change you could do going forward for probably the next season or stuff like that?
All right, so one of the things that we do at ISSA, right, or we don't do at ISSA, I don't know, depends on which way you want to do it. We don't appoint match officials for any of our competitions. So whether netball, cricket, basketball, whatever it is, if ISSA doesn't get itself in the appointment of match officials, obviously we have an interest in ensuring that the match officials ensure that our competitions are properly run and play their part in upholding the standards that we expect of the competitions. So when we hear concerns, when issues are raised, we normally have discussions with the point persons from a general point of view as to what these concerns are. Maybe there are things happening that we don't understand as as an organizing body, and we will ask for explanation, get clarification. If there are things that we definitely don't like, we will say to the body, what can we do to ensure that things are in line with what our policies are and our role as an organizing body is. So you mentioned the fourth official. My own observations in recent times, like you said, is that the fourth officials have gotten really involved. So you notice, if you look keenly, for example, you will notice that there's a call to be made and you'll see the fourth official pointing or signaling that, for example, the throw should be going this way or it should be going that way. Or some innate, I guess it's pre-organized, where they are communicating with each other. And I don't think that that is a bad thing either. We don't have VAR, and it's unlikely that we'll have VAR anytime soon. And if you have a mechanism that can ensure that the referees get the right decision more often than not, then I'm in full support of it. But the public generally needs to understand how that communication takes place and what role, where are the lines of demarcation in terms of who decides what and who makes that final call. What I can say is that the referee in the middle always have that final call. So irrespective of who he communicates with or what he says or what he says to him, it is still the whistle. It is still the person with the whistle that makes that final call. But I know of the cases that, or at least some of the cases that have been raised, especially over the last week, about the involvement of the fourth officials. And I'm sure that at the end of the season, we'll have our discussions with Cardella, who is the person responsible for the referees from the JFF perspective.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Wellington.
All right.
And I wish you all the best for the rest of the season, for the next.
Oh, sorry,
Right.
Sorry, that man.
I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah, you know how that go already, Mr. Wellington, you know?
I missed about what you said because you got cut off. You said that?
No, I say, I wish you the best for the rest, for the next game, but I'm a Clarendon man. So you know how the part they go already.
Well, you know, Clarendon College was at STETHS today, and we have an agreement that half the stadium will be in blue and yellow. No, I can rest assured that will happen, right? Now we have a lot of people in blue and yellow at STETHS.
Me understand the part there still. Me understand. Me kind of
That's all
understand that part.
That's all I'll ask for.
That triggers a question from me, sir. Was that agreement was before the game or after?
It was after.
Okay, all right, well done. Info, you may go. We have an alliance entering too. Go ahead, Info. You get cut off earlier.
Yeah, but Principal Wellington, I was talking about the spectator and the verbal abuse of sometimes of the players. Them if anything ISSA can do to prevent some of these action by fans.
Well, I'm not sure how far we can go, but I think yes, it's a concern. It's a very valid concern. Sometimes even students are here with someone. I've gone to games and you hear some choice words coming from people and some descriptions. And you have to remind people that it's actually a school compound. I have personally taken on persons on the campus to remind them that this is not their backyard, and threaten to run them off our campus even though they pay them money to come on. It is a sad situation because more often than not, these are adults who you expect to be setting example for students. But it's a problem that we have generally in our society, where there's this lack of regard or lack of respect for other persons. But what we can do is to just continue to, first of all, as schools, we need to produce students who become adults who understand what their roles are as adults and behave in a manner that we can be proud of. So it still comes back to the school and what we do with our education.
Nah, good. But Principal Wellington, question now towards the team. You're surprised that you're in the final?
No, not surprising at all. I would be surprised if we were not there. I think if you ask the Glenmuir people, they will tell you that this is a finals that they expected because of a number of reasons. I know Info, for example, I don't know how much you really follow the football, But if you did, you would recognize, for example, that these are the same set of boys who, 2022 won the All Ireland under 16, decimating the champion team. We lost 2-0 to Glenmuir that year in the quarterfinals. That Glenmuir team included all of these guys excepting Cohen and Headley. Kirky had scored more than 10 goals that year in D Cup. They beat us 2-0 at States, and we went back to Clarendon, played both the under 14 and under 16 finals against two Clarendon teams, by the way, and beat both of them to win both the under 16 and under 14 3 years ago. This is the same team that is the St. Elizabeth Major League champion and qualified for the JPL Tier 2 competition without any adults. The only persons missing are the 4 guys who played the Costa Cup last year and are now in college. So it is a team in every sense of the word. They know what they have been doing. They're not playing these flashy games. But if you look at the 19 games that we have played, at no point in time did we look as if we'd lose any of those 19 games.
All right, yes, Principal Wellington, we follow the team from the under 16 competition. I cover a couple of games as well during that time, so I know that you have the same team. But let me ask you this, Principal. It's quite a while now you don't have any silverware in the trophy stack over there by that school in Santa Cruz. How confident are you on Saturday?
All right, as I said, we expected to be here. And when you get to our finals, and by the way, this is my first finals as president of ISSA. This is my first Costa Cup finals as president of ISSA. So before I became president, I made STETHS made 7 consecutive semifinals and 6 Costa Cup out of the 7 finals, won 3 Costa Cup. And I became president and have not been able to make a semifinals.
I hope you remain president for the rest of your life.
Well, one thing you know, if you know me well enough, you know that I don't do things that I can't do again. Right? I
want to remain president.
Principal, before you run, my final question. There's a viral video going around with info. You have anything to do with it, sir? Saying that STETHS cannot win.
I have nothing at all to do with any video production that you see anywhere around ISSA or STETHS. While I'm an IT person, I'm not practicing right now.
Did you saw the video?
I've seen a video with a very humble apology. And
apology for what?
For doing what so many other persons. You know what I'm sorry? I think what people don't recognize. I don't think STETHS get credit for a lot of the things that we do because people believe that it comes easy. And if they pay a little bit attention to what we do and how we do it, a lot more schools will be a lot more successful. They just assume it happens in cricket as well. People believe that we win because we get the best talents in the parish or in the country. People believe that STETHS recruit a whole lot and we get the best talent. I can tell you that there are schools that recruit 3-4 times the number of students that we get specifically for, because I don't have the space at STETHS. I don't have space at STETHS to accommodate the number of students who make a request for a space at STETHS, whether through sports or otherwise. There are sometimes persons who work at STETHS whose children pass for another school and they can't get a transfer to come to STETHS. So I can, in terms of recruiting and so on, yes, we do recruit. I'm not going to deny that. But it is no way close to, nowhere close to the big schools. And certainly even less than some of the quote-unquote smaller schools. So it is.
But me, you say quote-unquote big school. Are you saying that you're not a big school?
we are big on performance. We're big on performance. If you look at what we have achieved, I think we are as good as everybody else. But
all the best until after 8 Saturday.
All right. Thank you very much. Sir Lee.
Yeah, man.
This is a good night.
Mr. Wellington, the president. Good night again, man.
Good night.
Yeah, man. The last time you're on the side. Well, first I must say, you're the only president we can poke fun and bant and we're not getting in trouble,
Yeah.
Yes, man. You're the only president, man. I must say, congrats to your team for making it to the final.
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Thanks.
Yeah, man.
Let me hope I get the same thing Friday evening after 8 in spite of what info thinks.
Well, you see what color may I wear though, Mr. Wellington?
And what and it's very contradictory because I don't think they set the sign above your head and the color, I don't think they match.
It doesn't match, right?
No,
Yeah, but you know I gotta go with the Clarendon team tomorrow,
Well, I know Meran is a Glenmuir man too, so but remember your principal is a St. Elizabeth girl.
Yeah.
So careful.
All right. So you know yourself.
Parish or school?
Yeah? No man, she's a Hampton girl. She's a Hampton girl, but she's from St. Elizabeth. And by the way, let me tell you something. STETHS and Glenmuir have an extremely good relationship. The Glenmuir principal is Malik's godmother. She is one of my wife's best friend. So we were college mates and all of that. Myself and Palmer and Peart and Rambo, very close. Right? The boys also have a good relationship. So I think the bad thing about it is that the worst game to lose is against your friends. That's the worst thing about this. But we really have a good relationship, and I think it is going to be, and it is a good matchup for school sports based on the relationship between the schools and the type of personnel around the teams. And I'm sure that ISSA will be proud of the display from both teams on Saturday. And as I said, we have history. By Sadi, this is our third finals against Glenmuir, right? And there has been exactly 13 years between each. So 1999, then the next one in 2012 and 2015. 2025. We in 99 when STETHS won 1-0. The Glenmuir team included Sheldon Baptiste, Ratty Daly, Marciano Benjamin. Really big team. STETHS were the underdogs. We won 1-0. Rambo was a part of the team, didn't play because he was too old, but he was back helping the goalkeepers. Right? And then in 2012, we were the overwhelming favorite. Big team, we lost 1-0 to Glenmuir. Right?
You're switching positions.
Well, I don't know if we're switching positions
because I'm good friends. Because of friendship.
I don't know if so it is a good game with a nice little history behind it.
I want to say this before you go, Mr. Lee, before I forget. It is very interesting to see how much of these players Mr. Wellington know off the bat from different schools. It seems like you study the schools, Mr. Wellington, not just STETHS.
No, man, listen, I have been in this, long before people know me, from I was 11, 12 years old. Not just football, sports in general. If I'm a Monroe man, and if you look in the Monroe magazine, you will see my graduating magazine, you will see the things that I wrote, the reports, for cricket, for myself and Courtney Moore were classmates at Monroe.
Oh, interesting. All right, sir. All right, continue, Sir Lee.
Yeah, man. So, Mr. President, the last time you were here, we're having this debate about you not sitting on the bench. You remember that?
Yes.
So I kind of noticed I haven't seen you on the bench. So I guess you've been doing good as far as that's concerned.
No.
Are you planning on going on the bench tomorrow, sir?
No, all right. So I think when we spoke, I explained to you that I go on the bench, I sit on the bench. I'm entitled to sit on the bench, and I sit on the bench based on how I feel and the circumstances where the venue is and so on. So I have a comfortable seat in the stadium with my colleagues. I don't need to sit on the bench. I had a comfortable seat.
I think tomorrow they're gonna all hands on deck. They're gonna need you on the bench tomorrow. So you need to go on the bench. Yeah, man. All hands on deck.
Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday.
No,
yeah.
I have a very capable team, and my contribution is not necessary on match days. I think we do enough as a team outside a match day for the team that has direct responsibility to deliver what is expected of them.
Yeah,
obviously,
but you see,
obviously, as a principal, you want to use every opportunity to motivate the team, but I think they're going to be ready.
I think you'll do a good job tomorrow on the bench. I think they're gonna need your help on the bench tomorrow.
Yeah. So
Yes,
you're
man.
suggesting that I should be there?
I'm suggesting for you to go on the bench tomorrow. I want to see you on the bench
I
tomorrow.
will speak with my advisors.
Yes, man, because you know the game, Mr. Wellington. That's why I was looking out against you being on the bench against. I don't want to see you on the bench against my team. But for other team, I'm just being selfish. You can't go up on the bench. So I'm giving the okay to go on the bench tomorrow.
Jack wants to differentiate between Clarendon College and STETHS. So he's saying that Clarendon College is blue and gold, right? Well, I don't know whether it's gold or yellow, but I know that it is the same shade that our jerseys were made in. So he probably needs to complain to ISSA that we're giving him the wrong jerseys, wrong jersey color.
It closes.
All right, Jack.
All right, sir.
But Mr. Wellington, I must commend you on the job your staff did. As far as Melissa, because the last time we were here, Melissa was coming. We're preparing for Melissa. We didn't know how bad the damage was gonna be, and then it passed through, and it created a lot of damage. When from the outside looking in, everything looked so crazy. I was one of the person that was saying that we should cancel the season. To be honest with you, I don't think we should have moved on with it based on what I was seeing at the time.
Yeah.
But obviously, the season went on, and I must commend you on a job well done as far as continue the season. Now I'm here enjoying it, and I'm happy that you did move along to continue the season. How was the decision on that as far as continuing the season? I mean, was it hard? Was it a hard decision from the rest of person who have been involved in making such decision, or was that easy one?
I wouldn't say it was easy, and I don't think it was a difficult one either. I think the process we went through ensured that we were comfortable that we were making the right decision. And again, I think you learn over time from experiences, and COVID experience was one that we learned from. When COVID came, we took a decision to cancel champs for 2019. I think it was the correct decision. But I think a lot of persons don't recognize that it was ISSA. ISSA was the champs was the first competition, track and field competition internationally after COVID. And, we got a lot of credit for how we went about it. And part of what we did then was the consultation we had and guidance that we had with the J3As, with the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Sports. And we were brave enough. To say that we can do this. And obviously, if you are disciplined and if you have some level of credibility where people believe in you, you can make decisions and get the support that will get things done. And I think we learned from that experience. And we came back with that sort of attitude out of Melissa. It wasn't the same thing, but I mean the approach was a similar approach where we consulted with the relevant persons, we had the discussions, weighed the pros and cons as to what would be some of the negative, because we expected that there would be pushback from some persons about maybe our perceived insensitivity in doing this when other persons were suffering and so on. But we were confident based on the discussions we had and the consultations that we were making the right decisions. And
was there a vote?
Yeah, we actually had a vote from our principals regarding whether or not we should. The vote involved, we actually had two separate set of meetings. So we met exclusively with the Western schools, right, to hear their perspective and to hear from them. And then we met with everybody else who were involved in the competition, and even principals who didn't have schools participating as well.
Okay, cool.
Since you're on that, let me ask Sir Lee, are you standing by the comments that you made as it relates to restarting the competition, Mr. Lee?
No, like I said to the president that I'm happy that they did continue the season. So obviously my position would have changed then, right?
And by the way, nothing is wrong with that. We have to admire people like that, because there are persons who would be against it, and despite it seemingly working out, they will stick by their position just because they don't want to stick to have been wrong. So you have to admire that. And that is, for us, that is what gives us the confidence when we do things and we think it is the right decision, and people come, if they come and criticize it and show us why it is wrong, we don't have a problem with that either, you know. But it makes it so much better, and it makes you feel good about what you're doing when persons who are critical of you for rational reasons, because people can criticize based on what they perceive, and they are rational in their perception, but maybe they're not seeing it from another angle, right? Because they say if you look at a 6 one way, you know, you will see a 6, but the man standing opposite you look at it and it's a 9 him see. You can't say that they are wrong.
True.
You understand? So I admire when people, I am not afraid of criticism, right? But I like people to being rational about their criticism. I don't like discuss politics. Sports is close to politics, and religion is close to politics, because when people hold on to certain beliefs in those 3 areas, it's difficult to argue with them. So when people in those spheres are able to have rational discussions and change their minds, I admire them.
Yeah, man.
That's why these persons are part of the Saudichress show. You know?
So
we don't back down, or we back down when it is necessary.
Yeah.
So one more
Yes,
quick
sir.
one, Mr. President.
ahead.
How long have you been the president? How long have you been the ISSA president?
7 years.
7 years?
Yeah, man. From 2018.
Wow, I didn't know it was that long, man.
7-star general.
So, Mr. Wellington, so if you should step aside now, what would be your legacy? What big changes have you done to ISSA?
My God.
So you could have looked back and say, okay, you know what? This is how I got it, and this is how I'm leaving it. What big move you would have made?
All right. So first of
cement
all,
your legacy then.
all right. So first of all, the presidency isn't an executive position, so it's not like the U.S. president who has veto powers in many areas. At ISSA, the presidency is really the chairman of a committee who leads this group of 16 or 17 other principals, who in turn come under the direction of the 172 principals who form ISSA. So I am not going to stand here and take credit for any or everything that is done at ISSA. But I am proud of the fact that I think if you look at any other era, the 7 years that I've been president are 7 years where we have had significant adversities, right? But we have been able to overcome those adversities. I spoke earlier about COVID. We talk about the current situation with Melissa. We've spoken about the issues relating to especially during this period, the football season, with weather and lightning strikes and so on. But I think administratively, what I think, and I don't think the job is done yet, what I think as an executive we are really happy with is that one, we continue in difficult circumstances to be able to garner support, financial support for our various competitions. And it's not going to be getting any easier based on what has happened over with Melissa. The economic situation is going to be generally a lot more challenging. So we have been able to hold our own and continue to provide the opportunities for our students. We have been also with our application of the rules of our competitions. I personally, although I get a lot of flack for it, I personally am proud of the fact that we are holding more schools accountable. I heard a discussion last night on, I think, Saudichress, where, you know, there were criticisms about particular situations. I don't know if they were merited, so I'm not saying that they were merited or not. But generally, what we have been trying to do is to ensure that our student athletes understand that representing their schools is not the be-all and end-all of their education, right? And even if they want to participate as professional sportsmen and women, it is important that they understand the value of a total education. And I think for me as a principal, I am from very, very poor background, right? That's not what I am about tonight. But although I'm very educated, I believe that a lot of what I've been able to accomplish in my life is through sports, right? My son, I'm proud of my son because he is one of those. Any principal will tell you that if you have a son with 9 CXCs, 7 grade ones at 15 years old, represented his country at different age group levels already, won multiple football trophies, is a model student. That. So I'm proud of that from a personal perspective, but that is what I would want to see of every single student who participates. And we know it's not going to happen because everybody don't have the same circumstances or same ability, but at least we want people to value their education. And I think what we have been doing at ISSA over the last few years is to insist to our schools, our college principals, that listen, these are the rules. If you want to change it, fine. But these are the rules. Let us abide by them. And this is why we have these rules. So don't try and circumvent them. So that would be something that I'd be proud of.
So one last question, sorry, because I know everybody want to take up too much of your show. So Mr. Wellington, I asked you that question to say this. I think you guys, I mean, for the 7 years, I must say, for the rule changes and the way the competition being run, I think you're doing a good job. I have to give the credit to the president. But I understand you don't want to take all of the credit. But I think you guys doing a good job. Yeah. But one of the things I've been asking for Mr. Wellington, and I hope you can get it done before you give up your position as the president, is a game between Ben Francis and Walker Cup. I've been asking you that favor for the longest time. I know you're going to make it happen because you're going to make it be a part of your legacy that you, the president, who reinstate this competition. I know you're going to make it happen.
All right. So
promise me that.
I'm not going to promise you exactly that.
Yeah, president. You're the president. You're going to talk, man, and make get it done,
Let me tell you. Though.
Use the bully pulpit.
Let me tell you. I'm not sure what will happen over the next 2 or 3 days, but something may happen that causes you to be happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Then. I don't need to say no more. I mean, I could keep going on, but we have other person waiting. We talk again, Mr. Wellington. I'm glad to have you on the show. As usual, you're the only principal where we can banter and have fun with, and you don't take things personal.
I'm to Saudi.
No, man, sorry, I'm a president.
Not a president.
I am president. I am where the president tag, prestige tag. You know what I say? But anyway, Mr. Wellington, big up yourself. You know what I mean? As usual, nice have you on the Starry Show. Nice talking to you because you want real done. You call it done. I check it out. Well, that in a good way. But Mr. Wellington, as far as tomorrow game, if it wasn't for a Clarendon team, we'd probably go with STETHS. But I'll just be honest with you, more of the things stay at Clarendon. You know what I mean? Good luck to your team still. You might be able to pull it off. But at this point, I'm going to ride with the color red because I want to stay at Clarendon. But nothing against you personally or STETHS. You know what I mean?
No, man. We are happy to have a Clarendon team in the finals with us. We have a tradition of winning the Doncaster Cup after beating
against a Clarendon team.
And one other thing, you say since you've been the president, you haven't won a cup. We're going to keep it that way.
A
Doncaster Cup. Yeah, man. We're going to keep it that way. All right, Sadi.
Thank you, man. Respect. Before we go to Peter, Sir Wellington, you brought tickets here tonight because you have to have 2 giveaways.
You know I didn't, but I have access that we can.
All right. No problem.
We can arrange a few.
So when you're ready, so you can ask a question or two. So persons in the chat can, respond.
All right, so after the next person, I'll ask.
All right, so people in the chat, bring up yourself. All right, you can put it out there. We'll make it. The panel last will get the opportunity to answer. All right, Peter, bless up yourself.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yes, Mr. President, you must hear me a lot, This Peter give us a problem, Farmer will Yeah. Farmer man.
Which year? Which year?
1980, 81.
So you and my uncle were at school at Dintil together?
Who was your uncle?
Well, me not think I plenty Wellington you than
okay, Wellington, yeah, quite up now. You are quite up in Wellington. Wellington come from St. Mary too.
Oh, this one came from St. Elizabeth. So okay. you would have been at school with Junior Bennett and Victor Stewart them?
Yeah, man, and Messi, Dean Wilmot and them, man.
Yeah, man. So
you might know my grandmother, from Junction, Grandmother from St. Miss Uni, from Chalky Toll.
Yeah? Very likely.
Yeah, man. So my son used to go Monroe.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the John now. But away from that, let me say thank you for being here. Thanks to Sally. And I have to congratulate you for no say because you after 3 in England now. So thank you for no said. Thank you for no say, boy. You make a competition that the youth them not get stifled. But my main issue me going is Mr. Lee make the issue about the Ben Francis. I would like to see this semi-final team, the 4 semi-final in the Ben Francis take part in the playoff. Because you can imagine now, Clarendon College win or Cornwall College win. Didn't till reach semi-final, do not get a chance to play back in that that semi-final. No school cannot win 4 trophy again, like back in our time. Because
one school ever do that though.
Russies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But remember, say Ben Francis never start until 1982. And Veer the first year. Yeah. Because 1981 we never have it. When Veer win when them unbeaten and never win the ISSA Cup when Cornwall College win. So remember, I have my stats, you know. So with that time it was the top 4 team. So it's unfair if you know say a team win, go to semi-final, don't come home with nothing, and a team that get dropped out win a trophy. That means that they have a better season than those team, you know. Yeah, I prefer they play.
So what you say? So you say Tottenham had a better season than Man City last year?
Yes, man. Because they could carry on a silverware. Of course they have a better season.
Although they finished 17th in the league or 16th.
They still have a silverware.
They had a better season than Man City.
Yeah, because remember they have a trophy to walk with in the stadium in front of their fans and celebrate. What Man City have to work with? Nothing at all. You don't get nothing for
again, Peter, that trophy wasn't an English-based trophy.
I know it was an English-based trophy, but at least it's a silverware. A silverware is a silverware, sorry. So and the other thing now, Mr. Wellington, what I would like to see now, you see, like for the Walker Cup, the same thing for the Walker Cup team. I would like the team them that reach the semi-final. They already reached semi-final, so they play the semi-final. Like these team now, these 4 teams that reach the playoff now, they would play these 4 teams from the ISSA Cup, the 4 teams from the Manning Cup semi-finalists. For the Champion Cups now, what I would like to see now, you see like KC win Manning Cup last year. STETHS win Ben Francis. Garvey win the ISSA Cup. Mona win. Those 4 teams I would like to see play for the Champions Cup because the cup named Champions Cup.
Play when? The following year or this year?
This year.
I hear the problem with that though, Peter.
Yeah.
And that's one of the challenges we have with schoolboy football. That's why we probably don't have a tier 1 and a tier 2 schoolboy league. School teams are not, as you can have a brilliant team this year, and next year you can't find a team. And that if you do that, let us say STETHS win Ben Francis last year and lose 12 players, right? And you invite them for the Champions Cup and then pick up 6. So the point is that you want your Champions Cup to include your best teams on current form. And if you cross over each year, you're going to have a challenge with that.
Well, I wouldn't say challenge, you know. So well can be, I wouldn't say challenge, but it named Champion Cup, Sir President. It named Champion Cup.
No,
so
but the way it is structured now, you know. The way it is structured, everybody who has a chance to win anything, all the winners of the various trophies, well, excepting Ben Francis and Walker Cup for the time being, all the winners of the Manning Cup, the ISSA Cup, Oliver Shield, the Champions Cup would have included them because you have to be in the semi-finals to play Champions Cup. But let me say though that the way schoolboy football has gone over the last 25, 30 years, just in terms of numbers of school participating, we have some challenges, and I think that we have tried to fix them piecemeal, meaning we would make an adjustment this year, make one next year. There is coming a time when we will have to review the entire structure of schoolboy football and determine what is the best possible option. So rather than fixing something here and something there, you scrap down everything and probably start look at entirely new structure. And I don't think that is too far away.
Okay, and because why I'm saying that now, Sir President, is when you look at it, the teams that really Ben Francis and Walker Cup, I really want to come back to the old standard. And I would want, if you forget a sponsor back to find, since a new shipment, remember the winner Dakasta Cup. The winner Ben Francis used to play the winner Walker Cup. Remember the new shipment Shield. Remember those days?
Yeah, man. But that happened from about 1989 or something like that, or 88.
Something like that. I think it was, I remember no, 80 something, no man, 90 something that happened. 90 something. When Ulmaz and Clarendon did play. But what I'm saying to you is, I would love to see those things. And the next thing, when you reach second round, I would like to see the game start to play back at neutral grounds. That team don't get home advantage and so forth. Now, even if it's my team, I don't like how we used to travel, go elsewhere to play games. Just like how you do the semi-final. And the next thing, I would love the Dakasta Cup to come back to the rural area.
Yeah.
That is one thing I would love to see, Sir President, the Dakasta Cup to come back to the rural area.
Okay. All right, I think I hear your suggestions. Some of them are workable, and I agree with many of them. But as you know, circumstances determine how we proceed. The issue of venues, the Dakasta Cup final, semi-finals being played in rural or urban Jamaica is an issue that it's worth discussing. I have my own views that may not necessarily be the views of everybody else. But one of the things that I can tell you is that we have a challenge where facilities are concerned in the country. It's not just in football. Right now, I think you know that if a youngster is to participate in a track meet in preparation for champs and he lives in Hanover, if he can't travel go town at least few times for the season, he's dead. And because we don't have the facility in Montego Bay for about 10 years now, has not been made available, has not been renovated. This year, you couldn't find a venue where you could play a doubleheader with lights outside of Kingston. So I think we have some issues that we need resolving.
Yeah, because the thing is, Sir President, why I really want you to look back on this Ben Francis, because that's my main issue I want to see come back. A team might play and he look and he say, we're not good enough to win the title, just reach top 16. And from reach top 16, we already qualified for it. And they just stop playing football and you wonder if it's the same team you see was playing. So I want to see everybody in the top 16 get a chance to play the Ben France and the Walker Cup. I would like to see it because when the last year, a certain gentleman, when they won the title at JC, somebody said, he said, what you want? I want something. You don't have nothing to show. And that's why people keep on saying some person don't interested, says like call it the trophy, a loser's cup.
But Peter, if I may, that wasn't your position. Your position that the semi-finalists should be playing for the Ben Francis and the Walker.
Yeah, but that's what I said to myself. I said that earlier on. Said the semi-finals should be
included.
Right, should be included. Yes, that's what I said, my boss, Sadi. I know you're my boss, but Sadi, I know you're the boss. But
one of the things,
that's what I said to Mr. Wellington. Said the semi-finals should include it.
Yeah, I think you have made your point, Peter, and I think many persons share your sentiments. But also in making your point about the number of trophies available. And you go back to the 80s, early 90s with the Nutriment Shield and
That's not your fault, man. You know that's not your fault.
Yeah, but I just want to remind you that there was no Champions Cup then.
Yeah. But the Champions Cup, you know, to me, the Ben Francis and right now the Champions Cup, yes, it's a cup. But you know that the Dakasta Cup, the Manning Cup, the Walker Cup, and the Ben Francis to me recognize more than even Champions Cup.
Yeah.
That's again to you, Peter. Remember now, you know, we also look at it. Those persons who just born, we call them now the Gen Z or the Gen X, they are not seeing those competitions, and they will live and talk about the Champions Cup, the prestigious cup. So again, into your era, you can defend that, and I do understand. But to say, mention is to you still, so not a problem.
Yeah, so I want that. I must big up Rambo. I must big up your coach Rambo, because I keep on telling man from the season start, Mr. Wellington, you cannot allow Rambo to reach this position because I'm going to go all the way. And Rambo, enough respect. One Rambo, enough respect Rambo. With that. Mr. Wellington, if me have to go, they forget us. If you come back with the top 6, if me have to go, they get the sponsor for you. Forget to play the winner Walker Cup, the winner of the Manning, the winner Ben Francis play the winner Walker Cup. But when you bring back the semi-finalists, them maybe they don't win it, you know, but at least they play for it. They cannot complain. If I have to go and get a sponsor, I will get a sponsor for you. I can talk to you after your Saudi can give me number, and if I have to do that, I will do that.
I will get it in sterling.
You know, in sterling, you want it. But enough respect to you, and you done a good job. I wish you all the best. I hope you can do an next 10 years in the seat. That's when you come, I can look and say, boy, you bring back the Ben Francis Cup as though it should be. That's when, and the Walker Cup. That's the thing I want to see come back together. And I know you will do it.
Thank you very much, Peter.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, so we're going now to ask Mr. Wellington to ask a few questions because, you know, we have excess tickets. So let's see.
Excess? I'm hoping for a bumper code, so I'm hoping that we won't have any tickets to give away.
Well, I mean, if you want a bumper crowd, you know, you'll have to give away some.
Give away some.
Yes, man.
All right, so let me, the first question, should I give away single ticket or everybody walking with them handbag?
Listen, I'm not going to decide how you do it because next thing they're going to tell me some bias.
So I'm going to do 2 questions first for a ticket each.
Okay.
First question, we got bias. So, the current States coach, right? The first year he coached the States, he was in charge of the States team. He was in the finals of the Dakasta Cup. Which team did he play against, and who was the coach of that team?
All right, you hear that, people? So, which team Rambo played in his first season as Dakasta Cup finalist, and who was the coach of that opposition? That's it, right, sir?
Yes. I don't have nobody to give ticket. That's why I'm not on site.
No, it's all right. We are taking. You see, you have it too easy, you know. So the people in the chat for them question this. So people jump out right now. I have some questions at a start that you put in the chat, people. I will ask Mr. Wellington in short order. All right.
Okay.
So be looking out for the answers. People help me out. So first of all, it was the first person to answer I've seen here is Ball of a Life, Clarendon College, Jackie Walters. It's the first person who give out an answer. Is he right, Mr. Wellington?
No, sir.
All right, so you're
partially.
Wrong. All right.
Partially. You know the answer, but you say we can't answer.
All right, so the second one, you look, it's 2009 and Manchester. But me not hear your name, my coach, man. But remember, I have to put in the name.
The 2009 team was coached by Andrew Edwards. The Manchester team was coached by Barry Watson.
All right. Well, I'm sorry, Wellington have his stats straight to them, man. Clarendon College, Jackie Walters from Blair. I think that came around and we said no. Dunswell 1997. No. Let's say you look, you're not sure. Which other one? I see Jordan Woodbine. Big up yourself, you know, Mr. Jordan. Man, they call Knockins. Lenny Hyde. No. Glenn Muir, Jackie Walters.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's it.
Right. So,
That's correct. And the scoreline, Glenn Muir won. Remember Rambo cried that year. And the next year he went on top of the dugout. Went on top of the dugout in catching on. You remember that?
Just don't say, listen, tell him he can't go on top of stadium here.
All right, so I'll send you the ticket electronically tomorrow and you can share it with the person.
All right, so Yogi, send me the number straight up. That's the number running on the stream. Save it and send me a WhatsApp message right away. All right, so that's the first one giveaway. Congratulations, Yogi. Done.
We're trying to find a Manning Cup question.
All right, yes.
So the two finalists in the Manning Cup.
You can answer.
All right.
Go ahead.
The Manning Cup finals tomorrow between JC and Excelsior, right?
Yes.
Excelsior hasn't won the Manning Cup in how many years? When was the last time Excelsior won the Manning Cup?
So you want the year or the number of years?
The year, last year.
All right.
By the way, man.
Since 2004, you lucky says.
21 years. I think that is correct. Let me just check to make sure.
All right. So you look like you're in the mix. Jordan, it's not 2006, 2008. Soccer. No. I'm coming with 2004. So let me just hold on a bit to see where you lucky is. I think it was said, was it yesterday? And the semifinals on TV. So this is the day before.
So
is that a false alarm, sir?
Which 2004 is correct, yes.
All right, good. So you lucky. That's your ticket, my boss. Send me a text message ASAP so we can with your name, can identify yourself. We go from there. So we're going great guns right now with those tickets. So the next set of tickets will be the ticket for you and your, you know, I call the name then, I'm sorry, no, better you say it, but I think it will be 2 tickets.
All right.
Anyway, sorry, I'm gonna get to some questions that were asked in the chat. I started them, so I'm going back to them quickly so you can answer. So first, Brady's TV. All right. Send your name as well in the WhatsApp message, please. Brady's TV. He was saying yes, info. He was saying root with it because we know the question that have to do with videoing. So Brady TV is making mention of, you know, what can you do for them? I guess it's for YouTubers who want to carry games.
All right. So first of all, let me commend. I might get in trouble if I commend. If I say what I wanted to say. But we know quite a few of the YouTubers have done an extremely good job in building on the product, schoolboy football product, by allowing platforms like these where fans can share their ideas, banter, and, you know, generally bring attention to the competitions. The current structure of our media rights don't allow persons to just go and capture content from the games and share it legally without first getting approval from the broadcast rights holders. I know the question wasn't asked, but so I'm actually assuming that the question is, how can YouTubers be allowed or get access to content from our various competitions? And the straight answer is that we have a broadcast rights holder who has the right and the opportunity to provide the content creators with access to the content because they pay for it. Now, obviously, it is a business, and if you ask them, they more than likely want to know how they are going to benefit from you capturing content that they own. Money always is important, but I think that if the YouTubers Association, if they were to approach these content these rights holders to say that we don't have cash, for example, to give you, but we can add this particular value to the product, and we would like to be able to cover X number of games or to do a docu-series or to do something that we can capture and share with you for broadcast. So we'll share the content with you. It is something that you have to take up on your own, but I can tell you that I personally believe that there's great value to what you do, and I have to be diplomatic, to be honest.
And that's fine.
I say everything the way I would want to say it. But I think that you have the potential to contribute significantly to the value of the product, not just for ISSA, but also for whichever rights holder wants to buy the product, because you attract people to the competition, persons who are not able to see some of the things, you are able to bring it to them. And the truth is, our current traditional media houses don't have the capacity to cover a larger percentage of the games where somebody else can do so. So let me just leave a response at that. Right. But I can also add that we think about what we can do to involve more persons covering our games. We have been thinking about it.
All right. That sounds good. All right, Brady. So you get that. Next one, sir. He's asking me to ask him why Mr. Butler wasn't disciplined for his action towards the referee.
No man, their actions was taken against Mr. Butler.
Oh, because I guess we never hear. I mean, sometimes, but that was broadcast, so people would have seen a lot. But then the responses are the actions.
Action. He did participate in a disciplinary committee meeting, and action was taken.
You care to say what action?
He was suspended. And I kind of know, I don't know how many persons is following Craig and seeing what is happening with him now. So let me just leave it at the fact that actions was taken, appropriate actions, I would say too. But I think Craig has some other challenges now that out of respect, we shouldn't be discussing this.
Big respect, and I endorse that too. So all the best, sir Butler, in your recovery. All right, so you get that, people. We just continue. So 2 more questions and then we move on. 2 more. Where are they? All right. So this one is saying, my position on quota players is I don't believe 6th form transfer should be included since high school officially ends at 5th form. Can we debate that?
So Jack, if you use that statement, then you should also say that since high school officially ends at 5th form, then 6th formers should not be allowed to participate in a high school competition.
No, that's what you will come with.
But that is what he just said. He said that you shouldn't have issues with 6th formers transferring because high school ends at 5th form. So if you're having a high school competition, then 6th formers should not be allowed to participate.
But sir, to be devil's good night, sir. To be devil's advocate, then you could argue that. But then though high school ends at 5th form in quotations, the age for adult is 18. So if a child's qualify under the age of 18, then he should be allowed to play. Just being the devil's advocate.
But that doesn't make sense, Sean.
Yeah, it does, sir, because remember a child can finish 5th form at 16.
Yeah, but if you finish school, you finish school.
No, but then Saudi, the competition saying is under 19.
I agree.
So in the prelims or the aspect, or given the fact that it's under 19, a boy who finishes a particular school and decides that he wants to move on for whichever school for whatever reasons, boy or girl, he shouldn't be implicated. I'm just saying that's
All
something
right.
I agree with.
So the point being made that when you move from fifth form to sixth form, well, first of all, I think to be honest with Jack, I think the point he wants to make is that at the end of fifth form, the school that you're attending is no longer obligated to keep you at that school. So they don't have to suspend you or expel you or anything like that. You are free to move to another school of your choice once that other school accepts you, right? Unlike, for example, a student from third form to fourth form, while the parent has the right to decide which school you attend, the current laws says that if you're moving from third form to fourth form, the school that you're leaving from must release you in order for the school that you're going to accept you. That's actually the law, right? So let me help Jack to make his point. But notwithstanding all of that, right? The position re-quota has nothing to do with year groups and where you are. What the quota is intended to do is to say that, and it's not just for football, it's for all sports, right? That students, first of all, before you even get to the quota, is that you can't participate for more than 2 schools in our competitions during your high school career, right? The quota then now says that no team participating in our competition should have more than whatever the quota is. So for football, it's 3, cricket, it's 3, track and field, it's 2 per class, netball, it's 2, right? No school should have more than this quota number of students who previously represented another member school. So what you don't want is STETHS A playing STETHS B because half of the STETHS team went to Manchester or to Decatur to play, right? Or somebody decide that they need to win the cup in the next 2 years, and therefore they're going to take 2 boys from down school Y, 1 from upper school X, 3 from upper C something, whether them finish 6th form or not. So that is the intent of the rule, and I think it is going to redound to the benefit of all our sporting competitions, especially football, because now we're going to actually find coaches coaching and not coaches managing resources. Right? Now we're going to find, so you have some schools in Saudi where you don't hear them in under 14 or under 16. And all of a big D Cup team or big Manning Cup team. That is not what we want. We want to see you giving the youngsters at first and second form the opportunity to develop, to coach them, to build them into a team, right? You want to see Jack, where STETHS and Glenmuir play under 16 finals 3 years ago, then retain them same set of boy. And if you don't come and coach properly at Clarendon College, you can't get in between them and the finals for 2025 because they were the best team 3 years ago and they continue to put in the resources and to train properly. We don't want any shortcuts, right?
Shatalik.
Hi, Jack.
Shatalik. Let me just get 2 more quick ones. It's very short. This one, Sir Wellington. You want me to ask about, can you have 3 Clarendon zones? 3 zones in Clarendon.
All right. So how we do our zoning in schoolboy football is by geography, right? And so we try and place schools in the preliminary round closer together so that they don't have to travel long miles to play, right? Clarendon, for you, well, one of the things that we have also said is that we try and have a zone of minimum of 6 teams so that everybody who spends all their money and investing with their time into preparing a team gets to play at least 10 matches for the season. So we don't want zones with 5 or 4 teams because it means that somebody is going to spend all this money to train and to buy gear and equipment, train for 3-4 months and then come and play 6 or 8 games. So we say the minimum we want is 10 games. So we need a group of 6. So for us to have 3 zones, we would ideally want 18 schools. There are not 18 schools in Clarendon. There are not 15 schools in Clarendon. Right, so to ask that Clarendon gets 3 zones, I don't know what would be the rationale for that.
They just want Clarendon for big up, man. Nothing wrong with that. All right. So this one from RR, old soldier, the class monitor who give up in post. He wanted to ask you about the MVP trophy. He says that he suggested that you have an MVP trophy in the name of Alan School.
All right. That is something that obviously we don't make decisions like that at ISSA willy-nilly. If we were to, it would have to go through a review process and the rationale made as to why Alan Skill Cole. I know that in all likelihood it's going to be said because he was this brilliant schoolboy footballer. But I know that there could be arguments made along those same lines for other persons as well.
Like, I can get one off a Saudichress. So Saudi then, yeah? All right. Finally, MG, why you don't come on the show, come ask you one question, the boss? But you want to know if you stop sweat as yet. So.
Tell him I was properly rehydrated. So I didn't notice I wasn't in the sun.
I'm not
but
sure.
Remember, sweating and nervousness is a sign of ambition, you know. Just remind.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
It's a sign. If you don't care what happens, you're not going to be nervous. You're not going to sweat.
All right. So you have the ambition.
I want to do well. You will sweat a few times.
So Wellington, I have a question that somebody asked me to, and I get this sort of concerns over the seasons. More so, I think we had 2 last season persons who complained bitterly. I want to explain to us, let us understand the use of the external exams for students moving to 6th form. And I want to we all understand the season. The question we're having, what about, how do you deal with the city and guilds? Which levels of city and guilds make you qualify for 6th form?
All right, so you understand the issue of exams you said before as a requirement for 6th form, right?
Yes.
So let me be brutally honest with you. So the current rule is that we accept CXC or GC, not people hardly do GC O level anymore. NC TVET level 1 and 2 is accepted, and City and Guilds, pardon me if I get it wrong, because I think it's stage or level. Not sure which is it, right? Stage.
They also have stage and they have level.
Yeah. So
they have a basic level. I know they have a basic
It's not the basic level. So you have a level which is equivalent to grade 9 work, essentially, right? So just like how in CXC you used to have basic maths and basic English, which is basically for a student who has not gotten past the grade 9 level. So they get to grade 11, but they're not very good at maths or English. So they don't do the general proficiency, they do the basic. So similarly with City and Guilds, there is a level that is equated to a grade 9 level, and then the next level is equated to grade 11 or CXC, right? So that is what we accept.
Yes.
But there are some other issues with City and Guilds, right? So you have some exams at City and Guilds where you have a subject, for example, like auto mechanic, right? Where it's an entire subject, but then you have within that you have modules where somebody may go same do changing a spark plug or oil and filter changing, right? That we don't regard that as a subject. For you to have a City and Guild subject, it must be the entire unit of automech. So you can't say you do plumbing, but the only thing you did in plumbing was the module and pipe fitting, right? So we have a problem with that, right? Then we also have a problem with some people wanting to use an exam where there was no formal sit-down exam. They do an exam where they call in somebody who don't know them and do an assessment and say them pass the subject, right? And there are other issues as well. So we have been very careful. These exams, the other issue that we have with City and Guilds is that we have people who go to school for 5 years, don't do a subject, but they want to go to one next school, right? And they want to find a subject that makes them eligible. So in August and September, they turn up or do a subject somewhere else to say they now have 4 subjects to sit at so they can play. Those are some of the issues we are having.
But, sir, and again, sir, just to be devil's advocate again. So in schools, we know about the pathway system in terms of pathway 1, 2, 3, etc. Let's say a boy falls in a pathway.
And let me answer the question for you. Let me answer a question before you ask it. So in the school system, right, the ministry has designated 3 pathways, right? Pathway 1, pathway 2, pathway 3, right?
3, right.
So these are pathways that are determined based on students' profile, their competencies, and the areas that the ministry has decided based on their PEP results that they're capable of doing work it. And you can switch pathways right up to 5th form. When you're finished at 5th form, right? When you're finished at 5th form, you can also go into grade 12, right? Going one of the pathways, right? With a pathway 1, 2, or 3.
1, 2, or 3.
So usually pathway 1 is for students who are able to do regular CAPE subjects. Part 2, they can probably do a mixture. Part 3, then basically not ready, not even for CXC, right? Now we have some schools who are going to tell ISSA, say, you're leaving from school A to go to 6th form at school B, but you're pathway 3, so you don't have no subject. So we are asked if we make him play. We are saying spend the first year at that new school, getting your academics up.
All right, but sir, let's say a student would have been at a school throughout the 5 year. Right?
If you stay in school, you don't have no subject.
So sir, but I distinctly remember a case where a player from Dintil would have been allowed.
Yes, I'm not going to answer any question that includes the name of a school.
Thank you very much, sir. I was just about.
Okay, sir.
We're not addressing student's name or school.
No, all right, no. Say that is no, and say that to say, and I respect that. But say that to say, sir. Given the fact that some students would have been in school, all right, from grade 7 through 6th form, and still not being able to attain a subject, but that student is extremely talented, but they're just not academically inclined, right? Yet that student is still not eligible to participate after probably 6 years because he doesn't hold CXCs or have the amount of subject. Don't you think it's unfair to that student, given the fact that the talent is there, but he's just not able to reach that level to attain any form of CXCs?
All right, so let me explain to you now. So if the student is at school A for 5 years, right, and didn't pass a single subject, based on the ministry's current policy, that student should be given the opportunity to do another year or 2 at the same school. And we have not had any issues with students like those. Where we have had issues is the students spend the 5 year, not the school for the 5 year, didn't achieve anything academically, but wants to go to school B, right? And at school B, he wants to be able to play right away, right? But the argument is being made now that he's talented and he don't have no subject, and we're oppressing him by not allowing him to play right away at school B. When all ISSA is saying is that sit out the year, you still don't pass no subject, you can play for school B after the year done. But spend the year that you're changing school to do some prioritizing schoolwork that you never did for the last 5 years.
Noted, sir. Noted, sir.
All right, so that's it, Joshua. The other part of it, Sir Wellington, me have to ask certain questions. I'm going back to the city and because I said it's an interesting topic. But I recognize that the city and guild exams have been administered in different months of the year. So which are the months, or which month you categorize as legally to be used for ISSA competition? As I know you have, I guess, June, July, August, and even October.
Right. So the rule clearly states, Saudi, for all sports at ISSA, for you to be eligible, you must attain the requirements the term prior to the competition. So if it's champs in February, you must have the requirement up to by the 31st of December. If it is football or netball in Christmas term, you must have the requirement up to the 31st of August. So if on the 31st of August, you don't have the attendance, you don't have the grades, you can't get it on September 5 and play. Okay. That's simple. So you can't do an exams in October and become eligible to play because you now have the subjects. And by the way, there's a famous case of that with a famous national athlete at a big school where he came back to the school in September, never had the subject in sixth form, did the January sitting, right? Passed the subject, but still could not participate at champs.
I'm going to ask you a question. Because they ask in the chat, and I never really ignore it, to just never come with that. But you kept mentioning big school.
Yes. According to the populace.
Who do you classify as big school?
According to the populace. The big schools. All right, so in England, you have the big six, right?
Well, let's take it right here at all
right, so I tell you how people arrive by big this and big that, right? So okay. In England, you have the big six that still includes Man U and Tottenham. And you know it's not unmarried, right? So big schools are those schools that have traditionally done well.
Okay. So STETHS is considered a big school, sir.
We're not a traditionally.
Of course.
Of course, sir.
It depends on how you define it. But we wouldn't be regarded as the big schools when you compare us with Monroe and Casey and Cornwall and them something.
That means a school like Glenmuir is not a big school.
Not sports-wise. Not sports-wise.
All right. We clear that. Rajiv, you hear that? All right, Sean, thank you very much. We'll have somebody. Rajiv, you want to come in now, Rajiv? Let me ask Sean to go. Info is back. And people, I put the link in the chat. Let me put it again if you want to come and do it fast. We don't have a long time to go. But we want to get your input. All right, so Sir Wellington, and the matter of equity, yes, and inclusion. Can ISSA look into the matter of having, coaches, principal, questioning referees without any sanctions?
When you say questioning, how do you mean? What do you mean by questioning?
Have a discussion about decisions after game. We see that happen from time to time.
No, man, but that is allowed. It is allowed. It depends on how you go about doing it. Any coach or manager can, at the end of a game, politely ask the referee, I saw something that I don't understand or I don't agree with. How did you come by this decision? Obviously, sometimes the person may not respond in the way that makes the discourse amicable. But I don't think there's any rule against the captain of the team but I think what we don't want is the abuse of the match officials or the disrespect of the match officials. But I think nothing is wrong for somebody to ask the referee politely, for a discussion or an explanation. Not that he owes them anything, but most referees, I think if you approach them properly, or umpires, will give an explanation. And sometimes you may be surprised how right he or she is or was. Sometimes I can't explain either. But
because I'm going to mention another thing. You talk about polite. After a game has ended, sometimes, a lot of us found it difficult to keep our calm. No disrespect, but maybe the tone of voice itself. And sometimes that causes a little rift. Or maybe the referee may feel that, this player has been disrespected and so on. But I've heard referee, they don't listen to certain coaches. And I said certain. And some players can't ask them anything, even the captain themselves.
Yeah.
But I'm just, trying to put this whole thing into perspective and it relates to the relationship with referees and officials.
Okay.
All right. Sir, the other one, as it relates to discipline, to the start of the quarterfinal round, we have, I get some data that in the Manning Cup, there were 446 yellow cards, 38 red cards. The Dacosta Cup, as expected because there are more teams, 1,033 yellow cards and 70 red cards. How many of these, well, you don't have to give me numbers, it's not easy for you, but in terms of those red cards, we know that basically a red card would have missed a game and so on. Approximately how many of these situations that have gone on where these red card situations, the players or coaches have seen the disciplinary, have faced the disciplinary committee for other sanctions?
I have no idea. Mr. Scott would be the person who would be most capable of answering. But what I can say is that for red cards, once it's a straight red, well, first of all, red cards where it's a 2 yellow cards, we don't investigate those, right?
Yes.
If it's a straight red, depending on what the offense is, then you don't have a disciplinary hearing for that either. But there are some instances where disciplinary meetings are held to discuss whether or not the one match ban should be extended. So I don't know the categories that those 70 or whatever number of red cards fall under.
Okay. All right.
But in the same breath, let us just remind the general public that what 70 red in Dacosta, how many in Manning Cup?
So there were, hold on a second, let me get it. No, I made a mistake because I called them already. All right, so in the Manning Cup, the red cards, right? 38 red cards and 70 for
so that's 108. That's 108 in more than 500 games.
Yes.
So a red card every 4 or 5 games.
Wow. I mean, that's a heat of it, but sometimes, these are stats that I like to compute, and so we can evaluate the season before and compare this one in terms of, discipline or disciplinary actions. I don't know if you have disciplinary trophies for teams or at the end of the competition.
Yeah, we now have our most disciplined team.
Yes. All right. So with that though, sir. All right. So Rajic, are you ready for your question? Rajic? Rajic not responding.
Yeah, hear me, Sadi?
Yes, I'm hearing you now. Go ahead. You ready? Go ahead with your question.
No, I no question me did that. Me just hear I listen. Me text a while ago and tell you.
Okay.
I'm sure I listen.
All right, no problem. All right, info you're back. What's the big thing? What is it you went to research?
No, I'm just going to ask Coach, President, how much team are in this year? How much teams are in this year under 14 and under 16 competition?
All right, so we'd have had an initial entry in October prior to Melissa, and we had 130 odd schools. But what we have done, I'm not sure when is the deadline, but we have reached back out to the schools for them to indicate if they'll still be participating in January. But we have roughly 130 something schools participating in under 14 and under 16.
Before you go, President, time and time again, you take a drink of any alcohol substance?
Jesus Christ.
In the privacy of my home.
All right, then on Saturday, I have a special drink of mine called Campari, color red. I would offer you some before you take the bench to make you look a calmer a bit for the game Saturday.
Yeah, I will speak to my handlers about that.
All right.
I'm the best president.
Sir Wellington, yes. Jordan is asking if there are any rights for the under 14 and under 16 competition. Media rights at this.
There are no rights holders, no. There are no right holders, no. So you can talk to Mr. Scott about any interest you have with that.
All right. You hear that, Jordan? Again, to everybody, info Brady TV, all of us who like the thing and want to continue to promote the youngsters. Not this way I promote, it's the youngsters.
Yeah, man. Last year I did that. Last year I did a lot of matches in the under 16, under 14, so I'll continue.
Okay, all right. Sir Wellington, what did ISSA learn from managing sports during and let me say after such a terrible hurricane? I know we talk about that, but what have you learned in managing sports after such pandemic?
I don't know if we have had enough time to reflect yet. We started back 3-4 weeks ago. Well, 3 weeks ago. And you obviously would have had a 3 weeks lead up period. So maybe over the last 6 or 7 weeks. What we have learned, I think, and I'm not sure if it's true to say we have learned, but what has been reinforced is the value of sports to our young people and to society generally, in terms of the fact that there are still many persons who believe that sports is just some little picnic or some people running up and down or kicking a ball around. While there are many, especially the experts, mental health experts, who point to the value of sports as a tool, not just for socialization, but for mental health, for mental well-being. As I said, I point to the example of those 2 schools who indicated early when we asked about them competing in one of our sporting competitions, who indicated that no, they weren't in a position to. But the principals came back days after to say, no, we have to allow the kids to participate. And these are not schools that were trying to win the competitions, but schools that were trying to give youngsters the opportunity to heal from the experience they would have suffered at or through Melissa.
2 schools withdraw. I mentioned that already, withdraw from the competition. More so, the first one, we can call name for this, Malda. What have ISSA done in terms? I just want to know, have you find any way to assist these schools, the fact that they had to withdraw? Would you have find or ask if there's anything that ISSA could have done to make it possible for them to continue the competition?
Yeah, man, we would have for both Magati and Malden, other schools as well, but specifically for those. Well, first of all, let me go to Malden, because Malden did not restart any at all. When we met to have the discussions about the possibility of restarting, the principal pointed out that, listen, I think we're going to have a challenge. We want to play, but I think we're going to have a challenge, one, because the roads have been badly affected, so we can't communicate with the students. They are going to have a challenge coming to school to train. We also have a lot of fifth formers on the team. Their parents have suffered significant damage at home, and I'm not sure that they are going to have much interest. But we want to play. We want the competition to go ahead. So give us some time to see if what will happen. We gave them the time. We gave them as much time as we could. And then they came back to say, listen, this is not going to work out this year, so we won't resume. And that's an understandable position. Magati had a slight variation of that, but they were eventually able to resume. But what we did, we tried, we actually offered support to them, both schools. We continue to offer support to them. And from an ISSA perspective, we are still putting things in place to help schools, because it's not just football that is played in Western Jamaica. We have schools that are affected. Their track and field program are affected as well. And we have been having dialogue, and a little bit more than dialogue, with our various stakeholders as to how we can support these schools. Some of the support has already come and been shared with them, but we're still working on getting more support for them.
Okay. Sports, big thing right throughout schools, and we have seen it where, track and field and football for some schools, some institutions has been maybe their marquee event. Yes, I know that education, of course, is the main thing for school, but is there any systems in place to protect the mental health or the well-being of our student athletes from ISSA perspective?
All right. So system. If you, the word system, I want to be careful with that word because system suggests that there's something planned, organized,
All right.
applied consistently. And I would say the short answer to that would be no. But in the same breath, I would hasten to add that we are always mindful of that and we use every opportunity that we get to share resources in terms of maybe a workshop, getting the communication from somebody to invite people to be involved in activities that caters to the well-being of our students. One of the things I want to remind us as well that really ISSA is a body of principles. So every single school has membership in ISSA and has a part to play in ISSA as an organization. So while we may not do something directly for STETHS or Lacovia or something, but because we are all principals in the same boat, we try and share ideas and provide guidance as to how you may help your particular subset in any particular area, whether it's mental health or sponsorship arrangements or what have you. So from that perspective, yes, we do help because this is something that we talk about. This is something that we make arrangements to deal with when not just when the situation arises, but when the opportunities arise.
Okay. And let me put this one out. I know it's gonna tricky as well, but we mentioned a little about this, but this from the diaspora. So they asked about broadcasting more rural games so that more rural ballers can get highlights.
I think to be honest, the current broadcast right holders in terms of their total package, they have done significantly well in terms of balancing rural games versus urban. The real issue is that there are so many games being played, so many schools involved, that I don't think that each school gets a fair coverage of their games. If you play, everybody will try, as I said earlier, I would try and give everybody 10 games, and nobody gets 3 games covered in the preliminary round. If you get to the finals, you may be lucky to end up with 4 or 5 games for the season. I think that's from the official point of view, and that is why I made the point that, we're always thinking about how we can get other people involved in ensuring that they expose not just the competition, but the teams, the players as individuals.
Jordan is saying, do you see yourself in another capacity in the near or possible far future in politics? My God.
Ask him if he would have voted for me.
Come, Jordan, answer that one.
Which color would I have to wear for him to vote? Or it wouldn't matter.
I guess he'll just vote for you, whichever color you. You see, when the respect.
If I can find enough persons like that who will vote for me and not necessarily a party, then it may be a possibility.
But
vote not vote for me, vote for my ideas.
Okay, all right.
And not the color of the shirt I'm wearing.
Talking about voting for you and your ideas, I heard, I'm not sure it is rumors, maybe you can clear that you have some interest in the top brass of Jamaican football, the JFF person.
No, I have interest in football.
What about the JFF?
I have interest in football.
What about the JFF?
JFF is football?
No. It's clear. It's clear that you have
as straightforward as possible, right? Mm-hmm. As I said to you at the very outset of the sport, at the discussion,
yes,
I have a genuine passion for sport and I've been involved for a long, long time. Right? People believe that I have leadership ability. I don't necessarily run down leadership positions, but I'm always willing to serve people, not just my country, but I'm somebody who is always willing to serve, especially if I believe that I have the ability to.
What I see you have, Sir President, you have integrity.
And that's important.
That's important. You have integrity. I can give credit for that because I watch you how person trust you, and when you are trustworthy, you'll be a good leader. So if you come and you run for JFF, people will vote for you.
I remember I don't really people vote for JFF president either. Right, Sadi?
Then it gets serious.
The parish president, them they'll have to come out and support you too, man.
But Mr. Wellington,
Sorry, I want to talk to Mr.
he was
President.
a part of a team that went for the presidential race last election. So he knows. Sir Media,
Sorry, I want to say something to Mr. President.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, President Wellington. In terms of football, I hear you and I understand the political answer you give to Sadi. But to be honest with you, if you become the president, I think we'll do good because you're passionate for the sports. I can remember that in the days when you're not ISSA president, you were energetic behind STETHS, you stayed energetic. So the love for the sport, and I think you will do well because you will carry that love for the schoolboy football into the national program. Maybe we'll go fight for World Cup on your belt as president. Honestly speaking.
Yeah, but
you cannot love. We don't love an organization can grow president. We don't love an organization can grow.
Yeah, but it also requires a lot more. Peter mentioned some of them, as well as I think one of the things that we need is somebody who is capable of, who has vision, because you can't operate on a day-to-day basis when you want to accomplish things. You have to have vision. You have to be able to manage. You have to be able to plan properly. And like Peter said, you need integrity so that you can get support for whatever you're trying to do.
You say one thing
Speaking of management, boy, you have a general secretary right beside you there, up top there, right beside you.
Great Sadi.
Anyway, Sadi, one of the things I didn't say at the outset, right, is that for all the organizations that I'm involved in, whether I am leading or I'm a simple member, one of the things I make people aware of is that I consider any meeting over 2 hours to be a retreat where everybody should leave and go to a hotel and sleep over and have. So we're about 8 minutes away from 2 hours.
All right, so we're not going to carry it to the 2 hours. Not at all. I promise you that.
You said one thing, earlier on, and when you said about if, and I look and see, you'll be a very good man to run this Jamaica Football Federation by developing youth. When you said the only reason we don't have a different type of league with the school league, and I never hear that from no other past president, because when this statement that you make, that means these kids what getting lost on the wayside. With your vision, they will not get lost.
Okay, sir. All right, boss.
All right,
because so many good kids go to some school, because that's where Sadi, they were saying, we have to give Sadi credit, because Sadi never showed it, make me get to see certain game on MG. Then the other guys, they made me get to see some game in England. We could not follow the game. We wouldn't know what taking place. We wouldn't get to see some talent. But there's other talent out there what don't get seen, because the school is low league and nobody seen them. Because those schools just have one good player. And I like the thing that you come in with. Nobody cannot go to no school again and take 5 players from here, 5 from here, 5 and come up and you see them just winning, Man Cup, winning the. I like that. And I have to give you credit. That is one very good thing you come in with, Sir President.
Yeah,
Start that.
Just a follow-up to that, and something that somebody has typed in the chat, Peter. So I think somebody was saying about the age for the players. If they're playing too late. The truth is that no, it's not too late for 18 or 19-year-olds to be playing schoolboy football. But if they are serious, and if we have them in school from 11, 12, and we're developing them, I think more and more we're going to see more 17 and 18-year-olds leaving the schoolboy football competition to play a higher level football with a local Premier League or moving along. And I think that is going to be one of the effect of the rule changes because now you're not going to see these 17 or 18-year-olds leaving them school to go spend 1 year at another school because they want to win. Because that other school can't take more than 2 or 3 of them. Right? So now, because you have to develop from early, you have to start the development. So the school, no, let me not use that word. The school with greater resources now are going to, if they are really serious about the sport, have to pay attention to those 12-year-olds that they get in, start to develop them, and if they are doing well at developing them, by the time they get to 16, 17, then you can really determine whether or not they are at the peak of their thing and they can move on, or if they are serious about it, the sport, and maybe they should go to an academy, or they should play a season of Premier League before going to college or what have you, because you would have spent time developing them and realize that's time to move on. But when you have a player at a school with less resources, right, and he spent 5 years there, and everybody wants to grab him to build a super team, you're not paying attention to his development. But everybody has to pay attention to developing what they have.
True.
That's
what go ahead, Saudi, go ahead.
I want to ask this question. And it may be a bit controversial, and I know it's tough, but in terms of development, do you think it is possible to have a guest team playing in these schoolboys competitions? A guest academy team?
No. Not likely, not possible. Mount Pleasant would have tried to get in as one of them, and that was flatly rejected by ISSA. But you know what? We're talking about development, right?
Yes.
Our competitions basically last 3 to 4 months, which is really just competition time. It's not development time. What I would like to see is January to June. They are properly organized competitions, especially for under 17s and under 15s, where even if it's not everybody playing, but let us say the 300 best youngsters from across that you saw playing Manning and the Costa Cup last month. Get the 300 best players and get 10 franchise or what have you, and get them play another 20 games between January and June. Where every year there's an under 17 World Cup.
I was going to say something like that to you earlier on, where I said like the high school in each parish, tell them to make them get their best player from their team, best player from in the parish, and come and play a parish league against them one another. You have 14
parish. It can't be a 3 or a 4 weeks thing. It has to be something where you have training time. You have enough games where you actually develop it. Right now, all of these parish competitions are really competitions to see who win.
Oh, yeah. That's a development. So that's why I said, just as you say, this is idea Jamaican football need. That's why I say you would be a very good man. Why don't we send it to president? That's the start.
I think we have run out of all the ideas about schoolboy football. And we start about politics and also. I think it has been.
I said when you reach your match, man, Peter is there. Anyway, sir, they're asking questions. I want to give those special tickets now for the extra.
So 3 more sets, right?
So
I allow you to
run
ask
another
next
few.
one.
You want me to ask the next one?
Yes, there's 4 tickets already, right?
Pardon?
4 tickets already. So 3
we're going.
3 more questions.
Yes. All right. So this question I'm going to ask you. How many teams entered the DaCosta Cup and how many teams entered the Manning Cup in this year's competition?
Make sure you know the answer, because I don't know.
You better know, sir. Let
me go for my book.
So, shut it out, people. No,
Ranking
you have to give me them separate. Jordan, you can't give me like that. Tell me how many teams entered the Costa Cup and how many teams entered the Manning Cup. And this question is for you and your other person going to the game. And you need to the winners, when you link me, just tell me which of the game you want to go is Man in or Dakasta Cup. Yes, Jordan. So 163 for Dakasta Cup, you're saying, Jordan?
No,
My
man.
God. No, sir. Can't be. That sounds like the entire schoolboy competition. We must use FIFA money. Nobody else want to answer? How many schools entered the Manning Cup? All right, since nobody in the chat, anybody on the panel want to answer? 83 for who? For the Dakasta Cup, Jordan? 107 Dakasta Cup, 88 Manning Cup.
Awesome.
107, 88. No, we don't have 88 Manning Cup teams. 76 Manning Cup. Where are we, Sir Wellington? Anywhere near?
No, not even close.
Come, people, shut it out to know what the tickets time because a lot of movements going on, you know. So we have to find time. We just have to just closing time now. Ranking of the year, boss. Ranking of the year, you know.
I mean, I call.
All right, so this is that we have to go break down the question because the bad now get to try. You want to give us the answer, sir? So we see we can move on so that we remember it.
All right. All right, so for Manning Cup, there were 40 schools.
Okay.
For Dakasta Cup, we had 82 schools.
All right, so people don't miss the chance. So anybody close more, I give it to them. 40 for Manning Cup, 83 for Dakasta Cup. 82, 77 for the.
All right, question. My time now. My question now. Let me see.
All right, yes, your question.
So, who are the two leading goal scorers in the Dakasta Cup competition for 2025? Leading goal scorers since the first round. So the Golden Boot.
Up to now.
Up to now.
To date?
Up to today.
Uh-huh.
And which school do they attend? So which two players are currently leading the Golden Boot? I remember the Golden Boot don't count the goals scored in the first round. All right?
Oh, Golden score.
And you know, Rajiko get it wrong. You see him jump in. Rajiko get it wrong. Jordan, you said 83. When?
I'll give him a finish, but him answer late.
Well, I'm going to look if he really said no 83. You don't say no 83, boss. All right. So look for the question again. Who is the leading going for the Golden Boot? And remember, the first round is not involved. Okay. Oh, yes. Jordan said 83 one at the time. The second attempt.
Before I spoke.
Before, yes. And the second attempt. But he never tell us so much for Manning Cup, just the Dakasta Cup.
So give him one ticket.
One ticket he must get. All right, Jordan.
Nobody knows who. Every week we come and talk and don't know who are the persons.
One of the things going on, sir. One of the things, it was the publicity was late this time around. So they should have not.
Sorry?
Go ahead, Peter.
But me don't make sense. Me can't make sense. Me if me who me will give ticket to.
Answer, man. You must find one fan on the show to give the ticket to.
Yeah.
No. Who will give to? Leading goes. The project dance and get it yeah, Sir Sadi. Sir.
One of the things, you know, Sir Wellington, you see that leading goal scorer, one of the things we were tracking that leading goal scorer thing, and we were not, based on the time that they were set up, we were not able to section it. Yeah, we were tracking coming from first round to the semi-final at that point. So we have top goal scorers, yes, but not necessarily we start from the round of 32.
No man,
So
no
maybe
man.
that's a
Yeah,
chance.
start from one. Yeah, start from. Okay.
Start from the turn.
How much go? But Maris, I wouldn't say Maris, but then take with some goal from him in the second one because remember this team did withdraw, so those goals never come.
They took away one from him because he scored one in that game.
Oh, Morris from Cornwall he's talking about.
Mm.
Come, people, man. Come. Make no
Well,
guess.
look at me about this so easy a question. You want me to answer that question?
Yes, I forgive you easy question.
Yeah.
Let me see what I go on. Hold on a second. Let me see if him. Wait first. Let me see one last question coming. Let me see if then the pamper. We're seeing sorry check answer. Hold on a second. But me get the name, me see some names, but you're not giving me the schools. All right, so we see Jervis, say Peter Jervis. We say Akaim Lewis. From which school? You have to give us the school, you know, we can't complete that. All right, so let me give you the answers that I get, sir.
You're giving me the order and they came, right?
Yes. So we have Lewis, STETHS, and Watson Glenmuir.
Half right.
Half right, that's enough, people. All right, so check chat again. I'll give we see Terran Eccleston, Cedric Titus, and Javante Gordon from Manchester. I don't think
those two have scored the most goal for the season overall.
Those are
the
first round
goals. So
yes.
That no count him say so that's why I never use them.
Carlando Morris.
Yes,
Kahim Lewis.
Those two, that's correct.
So, that's correct. Yeah. But remember me say Maris.
So Carlando and Kaim are both tied on 12.
Yeah.
And Kirky's on 10.
Remember me say Maris, you know.
Yeah, I heard you. I heard in the background.
So Sinclair, that's why you were half right, because you said Lewis, STETHS, and Watson Glenmuir. So half right. I don't know how, so we have one full correct answer and one half answer.
Yeah.
Based on time, sir, you want to just give away those?
Give away there? Yeah, man, for this. So much we got now? How many tickets?
You should give me one ticket to somebody because me answer that first, you know.
No, you say you don't want no ticket because you're not coming. You
don't want no ticket, but I start to say me pay answer because I can give to somebody. Somebody then this get certificate spot. Me don't want no ticket. You don't want
you never take it up. But
you know, say Calamaris. I be say Calamaris, and then he present in. Remind me, say only one goal and take away from him because me know Sam was the leading scorer and them say only one.
All right. So Paul Bogle, I got answer for the STETHS. Sorry. Yes, but that was just half of it. So if Mr. Wellington is willing to give you for the half answer, and then you get one, and the person who said that for two again, who get Morrison. Let me see who get that one again. Yes, so Kaiman Morris from Sports. I know Sports since it we get.
Cornwall, Morris from
man, the Cornwall and STETHS. So let me say now, so Sports Inc. Give me a text me name and so on, so I can verify that. Paul Bogle?
Yes, Sadi.
Yes.
Yeah, man, I post my answer for the number of Manning Cup and the Costa Cup team, but you not see. Because I think after withdrawal, Mr. Wellington, it came down to 77, right? For the D Cup. For the D Cup and 39 Manning Cup.
But the question was the number that entered.
Right, but the number that actually played was 77.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but you asked the question how many teams are entered for that.
Entered, but some entered and they withdraw.
But you have a point.
All right, Paul. All right. Lewis and 26.
And my last question.
All right. So link me, send me the text, and so we can verify that. All right.
My last question.
And then we call it. Yes, sir.
only one school still have a chance of retaining their 2024 schoolboy trophy. Which school is it?
Repeat what?
Sorry. It does not include Glenroy and the Champions Cup, since as we don't know if Champions Cup going to play it.
Because I want to ask that question, but anyway.
Outside
of the Champions Cup, which school have an opportunity to defend their title?
Or to retain?
Outside
the champion.
Mario Logan says Mona.
Correct.
Mona. Mm-hmm.
Jordan, you say Mona too, but Mario come before you.
Mona is the only defending champion there.
All right, so Logan, can't say no, we're not going to Saudichress show, you know. So
all right. So Saudi, you get this way, just send it to them tomorrow. By the way, Saudi.
Yes.
Them need to tell you which is it they wanted, a Manning Cup or the Costa Cup ticket.
Yeah, man, I told them.
So them tell you and then you tell me, right?
When you text me, you just tell me the finals you want to go. Is the Manning Cup or the Costa Cup? And you have to talk, you have to give it early tomorrow. As you know, tomorrow is the Manning Cup final. All right? So make sure you send the text. I've got one already, and two for the first couple of answers. All right, so Sir Wellington, we come to the end of the show. I tell you, boy, we enjoy talking to you so much. There's so much to talk about. It's about football take precedence. But before you go, one final question for me, which will go for you. What really keeps you motivated in a role that often comes with pressure, criticism, and criticism?
I think the simple answer is whatever I'm doing it because I love what I'm doing. I think that's a simple answer. It's like marriage. It doesn't matter what happens in your marriage. If you are truly in love, you're going to make the sacrifices and the things that the disagreements and all of that going to break up your marriage because you're in love. So for me, it's a similar thing with what I'm doing. I'm doing it because I love it. It's not that I'm doing it because I don't have any choice. So, you know, I think I have a fairly good understanding of people. So some of the things that would kill other people not going to hurt me.
So Mr. Wellington, sometimes when you look into it, I ask, boy, why them have take me on like that? Why me have to get so much blame? What really do, man? Talk true. Because I can tell you, I don't remember it since the start of the season that on any show, any night, somebody don't blame Wellington or STETHS. I tell you straight. And you know, you listen to what you show.
Sadi, you're a principal, right?
Yes.
And let me tell you, you have experiences with workers, right? At different levels. So your workers have different educational levels, right? Mm-hmm. And so you have to treat them differently and you have to have different understanding for them. One of the things that, so for example, people around me say, boy, Mr. Wellington, I don't know how you manage this now, I don't know how you manage that move that mad long time. And I say to them that, listen, you see the people who you believe causing problems and you couldn't deal with them and them lazy or them dunce and you have to tell them everything. Just remember, when you have them to deal with, that if they were in your position,
yes,
they would not be behaving the way they are behaving. And the only reason they are behaving the way they are behaving is because that is where they find themselves in life, right? And you have to understand and accept that all of that is a part of life. All of us can't be the same thing. And so when the criticisms come, as I said to Mr. Lee earlier, I don't have a problem with criticism, especially when you know that the person is not being malicious, right? We have a problem, and I don't have a problem with them either. When the criticism come in and I know that it is unfair and unfounded, all I do is laugh. I am more concerned about the criticism that we know is rational, because then now I have to start thinking about what can I do differently. But if it is an irrational or unfair criticism, it don't bother me one bit.
Well, one thing we can say you have, when we can say you have President, you're a man of integrity, and I will always say it because I see that in you. And you know, you're not just educated. You're not just educated. You have a lot of educated fool, you know. You're not just educated. Yeah, you have a whole man educated. You're not one of those persons. You understand? You're not one of those. You can't take, and you say, when I have common sense, everything in one. That I'll be saying you have integrity. You're not going to further.
Yeah, Mr. Wellington.
Trust you with anything, Mr. Wellington. A man will come and say, you know what? We have some money if we invest down in the school. They wouldn't, when it's sister you, they not go think twice. If you say, you know what, send on the money. Not
Anyway,
think twice.
We really have to take it. We're going over Mr. Wellington time. But Wellington, that's one question. You watch YouTube.
I remember I have 2 long days tomorrow and Saturday, no?
Yeah, man. You know what I help? You so much time we offer your help and you not take it. But anyway, we can leave that for another time. But you find time to watch all of these shows because I realize that you're not easy. You mash up the beds last time.
I not do these things because of obligation. I might think this for my entire life.
Yeah, man. True. Anyway,
Good luck.
I have a wife and son who love sports too, so when I do my thing, them feel like them are part of it.
They're a part of it, which is
that make it easier.
Yeah.
So you need to close the show. So I want you to talk to Jamaica, talk to the schools, talk to the fans about the finals coming up and the competition. What the expectations are, what you'd like to see.
Well, I'm going to be very brief. First of all, let me thank you, and not just you, but I know there are others, and I like the idea with you and MG where you actually coordinate and decide who do what, which evening and what time. So earlier when I spoke about the YouTubers Association coming together and probably approaching the media rights holders, that is something that would be to your benefit. But I really want to thank you and your panelists because the discussions that I know, I heard you say, somebody said one evening about the impact on the youngsters. All the footballers involved in the competition, well, and it's not all, but I mean, many of them come and hear the discussion and party. Sometimes as coaches, you probably don't want to listen still.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
But you want all our STETHS ones to listen in for media. Right?
And then manage it well.
Right. So I really want to thank you for the role you are playing.
Yes, man.
It's
Thanks
an
very
important
much.
part of the process. And I hear the concerns and the requests that you are making specifically to how you can be involved even more. And I think those are really genuine and valid requests that ought to be considered. So thank you very much for you and people around, because as I said, I know there's a team. We're coming to the end of the calendar year, but not the end of the season, because we come back January for at least a couple of games. We really want to see good support tomorrow and Saturday, because part of the challenge that we have had this year is funding, and we need the money at the gates to help us to continue what we are doing. I think we are in for some really good games over the weekend. Both the Walker Cup, Ben Francis, Manning, Doncaster Cup. I think there are four good games over the weekend. It has a mixture of traditional powerhouses in football. The rivalries are still there. Cornwall and Clarendon College is always going to be a good game, right? Has strong presence. So forget about what is it they are playing for. Just remember that it is Clarendon College and Cornwall. Turn out and support them on Saturday. Obviously, STETHS and Glenmore, as I said, I think that it is a finals that is something that ISSA can be proud of in terms of the two schools and what they represent. Friday, JC looks like a juggernaut against an Excelsior team that hasn't won for a while but has real talent, has done really well in youth football over the last few years. And so we expect a really, really good game. The Walker Cup finals between Mona and Catherine, I think everybody thinks that Catherine has disappointed this year, and I think this is an opportunity at redemption for them. And obviously Mona continues to build a legacy. I see they want to do this for their coach who is not well. And so, you really have a lot to look forward to over the weekend. So let us fill the grandstand. It's only 5,200 people. we must can find enough supporters for those 8 teams.
So it's on the grandstand open for the finals.
Oh yes, grandstand, right? All
Well,
right.
you know, let's
Thank
forget
you very
this
much,
one.
Abby.
But 1 out of 10, Mr. Wellington. What's out of 1 out of 10? What's the chance of the Champions Cup?
Let me say, we will know in a few days.
Okay.
So, so that means that it is not 0. But we're not
thank you. All right, looking good, looking good. Thank you very much again, Sir President. And as you go, we want to wish you all the best and congratulations for where you're at. We know that it's only one winner it can be, but wherever you are also a winner based on the work that you put in. Pick up yourself. All the schools who enter this competition, pick up yourself as well. Without you, we wouldn't have a semi-final, we wouldn't have any finals. So again, thanks again. Thanks for everybody in the chat. Again, for those who win tickets, give me a text, and tomorrow morning I'll give you a shout out to see how you can get your tickets. All right. Again, pick up yourself, Captain, Chief of Staff.
Yeah, man.
All right, extraordinary. People, that's how it goes. Peter, everybody in the chat, pick up yourself. All right, so we go out, as we say. Sorry.